Alright guys, so for today's project we're going to use some white paper and some yellow paper, glue stick, and scissors. You're going to need a brown marker or crayon, and then these are optional, you don't have to use those, and something to trace a circle with. So my first step is to make 3 of these circles, and so I'm going to trace my circle here. And instead of cutting out 1 at a time, I'm going to fold my paper and I'm going to cut 4 out at a time, being very careful. Now I only need 3 circles, so I'm just going to take one of these away. Alright, so next we're going to cut our strips of paper for our sunflowers. Now you can just take a pair of scissors and go straight up. It doesn't have to be super straight. And you can also ask mom or dad or grandma or anybody who's around to help you with this. So I'm just cutting straight strips up, 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 up. Now if you really want to cut some super straight strips, you can use a ruler, or you can use something that has a straight edge, like this box here. This box has a straight edge, so I'm going to use it to mark lines on my paper that are straight. I know it's kind of hard to see, but there's a line there, and I am going to cut on that line, and that way I know my paper is super straight. Can you see that one there? If I cut on those lines, I'm going to have some nice, tall, super straight rectangles. So you want to go ahead and cut out your whole paper. Make as many strips as you can. The more strips you make, the better your flowers are going to look. I'm taking my brown marker and now I'm going to color inside these circles. So now I've colored my circles. It's time to start gluing on the strips. Now that is super long, way too long. So we're going to have to cut these strips down. I think I'm going to cut them in half so they're not so long. And that way we have more. Cut them in half, you get twice as much. Now we can glue them behind. We don't want to glue them on top. If we glue them on top, that looks weird. So I'm putting a little dot of glue on the strip, and I'm just going to put it around my circle. Remember, the more you add, the better they look. Now see this guy right here? This big guy? He's a little too big, so I'm going to give him a haircut. I'm just going to trim off some of his petals because he is a little too big for me. Now he's all trimmed up. We're ready to go. I am going to draw my vase, just like Van Gogh has over here. You can make your vase any way you want. You can have it tall or skinny or wide. So I'm sketching out my vase, and after that we're going to put our flowers in the vase. Or at least it's going to look like the flowers are in the vase. Starting with my biggest one, I draw a little stem and glue it on. Then there's going to be one that's next to it, but slightly lower. And draw the stem. Now the last one is going to be right here hanging over. You're barely going to see the stem. I'm going to make my vase a little bit darker by adding some brown crayon. And there we go. That is our simplified sunflowers.